So, my name is Jan Skotten. I'm CSO and co-founder of Quantfolio. To illustrate what we do, I'm going to show you an example. Swedbank, one of our clients. 20,000. That's the number of face-to-face individual savings-related meetings they're able to do during a year. 4.1 million. That's the number of retail customers they have in Sweden alone, which means they're only serving 0.5% of the customer mass individually. And this is driven more and more by regulation that they have to do this. So the existing model doesn't scale. And when you add to that the amount of data that is powering the markets now, and also influxing on decision-making for financial advisors, it's becoming harder and harder to make financial decisions because the amount of data is too much to comprehend and process for humans. The last 2 years alone, we produced 90% of the world's data, and it's accelerating. This is where we come into the picture. We spent the last 5 years developing a framework built on quantitative and machine learning-based technology that allows us to connect to today 30 different data sources to make sense of the financial data. This allows us to select the best funds, stocks. We even have predictive models for market downfalls to protect money. This is where we're coming from. On top of that, we've built technology, automation technology, that allows us to understand a customer's risk profile from a bank, your preferences, your passions, your economy, your debt situation, to give you an automated, individualized advice. And we do this because we learned ourselves after selling our part in our first startup that we started in '99, that making good financial decisions is hard. Which risk to take, what to buy, but also to choose sustainable investments. What is really a sustainable investment for me as well? So what we do, we offer what we call machine-driven robo advisory. Think of us as an engine room sitting underneath the front end of a bank. We work with some of the major brands in the Nordics and Baltics today. So we're able to apprehend the information from the bank front end and use the data to provide an optimal portfolio based on the customer's passions, beliefs, economy, etc. We have strong partnership for scaling, and we have huge ambitions. We want to become a global household name for what we do. And we strongly believe that if we are able to give people a choice when they place their pension money, whether that money is going to go to cleaner oceans, greener energy, and we can use the data to make sure that companies and funds that are doing good is preferred, that is the position we want to take. Huge market with 3,500 banks with asset management throughout Europe that we're targeting. We started out in the Nordics. We have an amazing team, senior team, PhDs within quantitative finance, Python development, machine learning, but also finance and asset management, and they're all shareholders in the company. Too many men, that's the only problem. So to summarize, we power the only true robo in the Nordics that is purely algorithm-driven through S-Banken today. We have existing pilots with 3 other banks going. Our clients include major Nordic banks, and we also have our own asset management arm. So we manage a fund that's 100% machine-driven that today has about 200 million AUM under management. We're scaling globally with UK and US as the first markets beyond the Nordics. We already have existing relationships in the UK that we're leveraging at the moment. And we have a current revenue stream from licenses and a proven product. We are scaling and we're raising early next year, and we're starting the process and dialogue now. So we want to have the most forward-leaning investors joining our team. We're in meeting room 5. Thank you.
Thank you. First, just a clarifying question from me. Did I understand it correct that you're helping private investors or potential non-investors right now make investment decisions? You're helping them place their money more smartly based on their own personal profile.
Yes, but we do it through banks. So we are a B2B, call it a B2B2C play, basically. But at the end customer will use the technology, but you will never know that we are the one giving you the advice because you would use a local bank. Because we believe the banks have trust, their distribution, they have advisors that can tap in and be part of this process. And we see other players that try to grab the market to place your pension money at a fintech. Managing your money takes a huge vote of confidence. And this is where we can work with banks, because what we've done is something that can plug straight into the architecture of a bank.
And if you benchmark with the market, how are the algorithms performing so far?
Well, I can basically base it on our fund, which is the one we're tracking. So it beat the market with 5% last year, and it's following the index now. So it's actually close to the index, and it took a defensive position. It can go 100% out of the market and be 100% into the market, depending on the algorithms. So it took a defensive position when the market started, but it catched up now. So now we're on the index. So it's since we started last 6 months, it's up about 11%.
Very quickly, because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
What is the business model here? How do you make money?
The business model, well, on the fund side, it's a separate business. That's this AUM and performance fee. But on the banking side, it's a base fee, base license for each bank, and then we have a variable component that's per user that actually uses the technology.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.